Welcome back to another episode of the Bad Influence Podcast. I'm Jordan Banderas, and before we begin, don't forget to hit that follow, subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my episodes. Has this ever happened to you where you're head over heels in love and can't imagine your life without your significant other? But is this just a short romance, or could it be the real deal? And if you're wondering whether your relationship has staying power, on today's episode, I'm going to share these 10 signs that will help you realize if your relationship will last. And it goes from what I consider the big picture compatibility to the little details that make your heart fucking flutter. These clues will help you determine whether you're truly meant to be together. Now, in a few days, I'm going to have my 9th wedding anniversary. And people always ask my wife and me how we knew our marriage was meant to last. Well, we actually came up with these 10 signs, these green flags, whatever you want to call it, that help us realize that we are actually meant to last. So, sign number 1. You can be yourself around each other, which is extremely important. And the first sign that a relationship will last is the ability to be yourself around each other without feeling judged at all. This means you can let your guard down, be vulnerable, and share your true self without having the fear of being rejected, shame, or even judged, because nobody wants to feel like that, especially in a serious relationship, right? If you're in a relationship, you don't want to be judged or anything like that. So, suppose you both feel comfortable enough to be goofy, silly, and even embarrassing around each other. In that case, you have a solid foundation for a lasting relationship because you can be your true self with the person next to you, with the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with the person that you're going to take care of, with the person that's going to take care of you. So that's a good sign, in my opinion. And that's one of the things that my wife and I can do around each other. We can be goofy, we can be dumb, we can be stupid, we can just be ourselves, and we don't judge each other. There's not judgment. This is a judgment-free zone, right? So let's move on to the next sign. Sign number 2. You have shared values, though. Now, here's why this is important, because similarities in values, goals, and aspirations are essential for any lasting relationship. And if you and your partner share the same worldviews, you're more likely to make decisions that align with each other's ideals and beliefs. So there's no fight when it comes to that. And it doesn't matter whether it's politics, religion, or just your general outlook on life. Check that you're both on the same page before planning your future together. That's extremely important. That's one of the reasons why right now divorce rates are so high as well, because there's 2 people in the relationship and both of them have different beliefs and different ideas or ideals that actually confront the other person's ideals and beliefs. So that's why there's always a fight. And again, this is something that my wife and I share a lot. We share the same values and the same ideals. So we have this view where we want to get in a relationship professionally and what we want to do in life with each other. So that's very important. So let's move on to the next. Sign number 3. Your fights are productive. I know it doesn't make sense, but hear me out. The thing about this particular sign is that healthy communication is key to any lasting relationship. And when 2 people care about each other, disagreements will inevitably arise. It happens. You cannot change that, unfortunately. But it's how you handle them that counts. Instead of attacking each other, you should be able to discuss your problems in a calm and respectful way. And if you're both willing to listen, communicate, and find solutions to your problems, it will show that you have the maturity and emotional intelligence to make your relationships last. I've had to learn this during my marriage, but it's made a significant difference. It's not easy. Nothing when it comes to a relationship, if you want to make it work, is easy, which is extremely important to understand, because I had to learn how to listen. I have mentioned this on the podcast before. I had to learn so many things that were hard for me because I never tried them before. And that's why I want to share them with you. Because if you want to have a serious relationship, you need to find the signs, or you need to create the signs. That way you guys have a strong foundation. So let's move on to the next. Sign number 4. You respect each other's boundaries. Oh my gosh. I have heard so many couples fight because of this. And this is one of the most important signs that a relationship will last. And that's because you will respect each other's boundaries. If you don't respect each other's boundaries, you guys are going to fight a lot. You guys are going to be tired. You guys are going to hold resentment. And whether it's physical space, socializing with friends, or personal goals, you should both feel comfortable and free to make your own choices. That's very important. And if you can trust each other to be independent and still come back to each other, then it shows that you're both committed to making the relationship work, which is absolutely important. That's why my wife can go out with her friends, can start a business if she wants to. Same thing with me, because at the end of the day, we come back to each other and then we share everything that we did throughout the day, or how the business meeting went, things like that, right? We don't hold anything back when talking to each other, and also we respect each other's boundaries. So that's why we have been able to be married for 9 years, and it has been a wild ride. So let's move on to the next sign. Sign number 5. You're both willing to compromise. I know a lot of people that say, oh, in a relationship you shouldn't compromise, and I'm gonna say this: fuck that, because that's not gonna work. That's not gonna make your relationship work. Because in this situation, for a relationship to work, compromising is crucial in the relationship. And the ability to find common ground is a sign. Again, it's a sign that you're both invested in making it work. Because being willing to give and take shows that you're not just looking for yourself. I mean, you're not just looking out for yourself, but that you value your partner's happiness and well-being too. It's not just about you. You make it about the other person as well, and the other person is going to be like, wow, my husband or my wife is thinking about me. I love that. You know? So easy. Because if you can both make sacrifices for each other without feeling resentment, it's a good indicator that you're in the relationship for the long haul, not just for the short term. You're not looking just for sex. You're not looking just to not be tired or alone or anything like that. So this sign is very important. That's why it's number 5. But let's move on to number 6, right? You have a good balance of independence and togetherness. I know. And this is not the same as boundaries, because in this situation, it's important to have a healthy balance of independence and togetherness in their relationship. You should enjoy spending time together, but also feel comfortable doing your own thing. If you have hobbies or interests that you pursue solo, it shows that you're not codependent on each other and have a strong sense of self, because you can do things on your own. You don't want your spouse to do everything for you, and you don't need them by your side 24/7. And on the other hand, coming to that point, if you're always glued to each other's side, it can lead to boredom and resentment down the line, because you're not able to do your own thing. You're gonna be bored, because what if your spouse is doing something that you don't even care about, and all of this on, you have to be there with them or for them, but you want to do something else. I've seen it happen in a lot of relationships. That's why I wanted to talk about this. Well, let's move on to the next sign. Sign number 7. You still have chemistry and attraction after being together for a while. This is extremely important as well, because physical attraction is important. Duh, right? But it's not everything. However, if you're in a long-term relationship, it's crucial to maintain a spark and keep your love life exciting. Try new things, wear different clothes, excellent lingerie, all of these things. Because if you still find each other irresistible and make time for intimate moments, it actually shows that you have a healthy sexual connection. It's not just about sex, though, but about making each other feel wanted and desired, which is one of the things that unfortunately hurts relationships a lot. A lot of guys and women too, I've seen it, feel that their partners don't desire them for one reason or another. So this is why this particular sign is important. If you feel like your partner doesn't find you desirable, the relationship is not going to work. So you have to bring it up. And you don't find any sexual desire or intimate desire with your partner, then why are you even with them? Like, what's the point if there's not going to be sex? There's not that intimate connection, that sexual connection, right? So I'm just pointing things out that I've seen hurting other relationships. And I don't want that to happen to you. So let's move on to the next sign. Sign number 8. You can envision a future together, which is, again, extremely important. Everything that I'm saying today is extremely important. And in this situation, whether it's marriage, children, or just growing all together, you should be able to envision a future with your partner. If you don't have that vision with your partner of the future being together or anything like that, I don't really see the point of trying to stay in a relationship if your partner is not going to be part of that vision, right? So in this situation, suppose you're both excited about the possibilities and willing to make sacrifices to achieve your dreams, whether it's individually or within the relationship, right? In that case, it shows that you're not just in it for the present, but for the long haul as well. You're telling your partner, hey, you know what? I have a business idea and I want you to help me because you're good, let's say, at marketing. My wife is great at marketing and designing stuff, right? So if I have a business that needs somebody like that, I can go to my wife and it's like, hey, I want you to be part of this journey because you have expertise. And I see us working better together and making this business grow so much and learning from each other that it's going to make us very successful. That's one way that I see it. However, it's important to remember that people's goals and aspirations can change over time, though. And it's okay to reassess your vision for the future at any time. And what I mean by that is that, again, with that example that I was giving about my wife and the business, if let's say my wife decides to start her own business, like a completely different business, and she's not able to help me anymore, I will understand, because at that point, I have to understand that she has her own goals and aspirations. So I will have to adapt and find somebody else that can take over what she was doing in my business. And again, I've seen a lot of couples get on fights because of that. So let's move on to the next sign. Sign number 9. If you make each other better, that will be the best sign that you can actually find. That's the biggest green flag, the biggest thing that I can tell you. Because the most fulfilling relationships are the ones where you make each other better. Whether it's encouraging each other's passions, helping each other through tough times, or just making each other laugh, you should feel like you bring out the best in each other. And if you respect, support, and uplift each other, it shows that you're not just a couple, but a team, which is, again, extremely important. This is something that my wife did for me, and I tried to do it for her as well. She pushed me out of my comfort zone. She pushed me to step up and become a man, not just a man child. And I do the same thing with her. I push her out of her comfort zone so she can grow and develop herself. She did the same thing with me. So this is extremely important and something that you need to keep in mind. Work as a team, not just a couple. You guys are a team. You guys are in this for the long haul. You guys are going to be married or living together for years. So make it work. So at least your relationship will last for a long time, and people can say like, how did you guys do it? Then you can give them the signs, right? And the last sign. This is the most important one in my opinion, because when you're with your partner, sometimes you just know. You just know that that's the person that you want to be with. Because in the end, the truest sign that a relationship will last is just knowing that it will. Sometimes it's hard to put it into words, but it just happens. It happened to me. Like a lot of times people ask me, why are you with your wife? And I'm like, I don't know. I just love her. I just knew that it was going to work. And it doesn't matter what it is, because it could be a feeling, a connection, or just a gut instinct, which it happens as well. But if you have an unshakable belief in your love for each other and you're willing to weather any storm, then trust that you're on the right path. Trust that you actually are going to do whatever it takes to make this work. That you're not going to just coward or run whenever things go haywire, right? Because in a relationship, that's going to happen. So if you're looking for lasting love, keep an eye out for these 10 signs that your relationship will last. While every relationship is unique, I do want to point this out, these clues can give you some insight into what makes a relationship truly fulfilling and long-lasting. But also remember to communicate openly, respect each other's boundaries, and make each other a priority. Because with the right person by your side, anything is possible. And that's it for today. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Remember to keep an open mind and engage in respectful discussions in the comments below. And remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button to stay tuned for more content. And here are my final thoughts. In order to find the person you're meant to be with, you have to work on the relationship and find the signs. Have a great day.